I'll start recording now, I guess. So anyway, as far as the teeth goes, you can look up the ribbon tools and the object paint settings. They're pretty fun. So basically just painting a tooth along the mouth. That's what we didn't record, but anyway, I wanted to get to the texturing of this thing. So it's pretty complicated surface, I would say, to give it that shark. You know, sharks have like a white belly and a gray top or something like that. So they can't be, you know, that's kind of their camouflage, right? So we're going to go to step 2 here, or part 2 of the modeling. So this is where we are. Okay, there's even a video that goes with this, but they put some lights on that, and we'll just look at it. Project overview, we learned to create this shark. Now we're gonna one thing I didn't do is just collapse this whole thing to an editable poly. I still have in my model right here, I have the, you know, the editable poly with the symmetry, so we can collapse all. So before I do that, just because I might want to edit some stuff, I'm not happy with everything that's in there. Just so I'm going to save, and then I'll go ahead and save as. And then what you can do is just click on this little plus in the save box. Can I make that smaller? See this little plus? That basically saves it as Shark 01, right? So now I have the original saved. So if I need to go back and mess with it, and then this is just the step 2 or whatever, part 2 of, so it's Shark 01 as the name of my file. So now I don't feel bad about, you know, right-clicking on that and then collapse all. And yes, and now it's an editable poly, and all the symmetry is gone. It's just a part, right? Just an object. I have vertices all over it. So, all right. And I think that's what we start with when we go to part 2 here. Okay, so UVs are just like XYs for the object. So XY is reserved for 3ds Maxes, X direction, Y direction, and Z, of course. And UV and W are reserved for the object's internal, or the U, V, and W are the X, Y, and Z of the local object, if you will. I think we've talked about that. So there are some files here I think we need to download. Let me see what those are. Yeah, they're just a zipped file here. So yeah, I'll just put it right there in my scene assets. Show in the folder. And I don't think Windows can unzip RARs, R-A-R. What do you call those things? Compression files, archives. Anyway, but 7-zip will. It's a more powerful, free. There we go, and there's the files, and here's the actual, yeah. So there's this JPEG image, and if you look at it, it has both sides of the shark, and it looks like some fin textures here too. So that's what we're going to use to texture our shark. So now I have them in my images, scene assets, images, and I have it in my Shark P2 project files folder. So I need to tell myself that so I can find it when I get there. Okay, so here's my shark. And what are we going to do? Let's see what the steps are first. We're going to turn off the NURMS of the shark. Yeah, that's helpful too, because that's way too many vertices. Although I think I already messed up because our NURMS isn't turned on here. It's just a bunch of vertices, right? So yeah, see, if I use it more, I'm not going to see much, right? And that's because I collapsed it while that NURMS was on. So I'm going to open up the previous file, shark. Don't save that. So here's my shark with the modifier on it. And the only thing I need to do is go back to editable poly and turn off the NURMS, right? So this is the shark without any smoothing on it, although it does smooth the result. Yeah, just turn the NURMS off and then I'll collapse it. However, I'm going to save as again. And plus, and yes, I want to overwrite that. And now I can collapse all. There we go. So now I have fewer polygons to have to work with. Okay. And you might be wondering, how come it's all smooth in here or whatever? And these are in the same smoothing group. So I could just kind of turn off all the smoothing groups somewhere down here. Where is it? Up there. What am I missing here? Guess I got rid of it. Anyway, maybe we have to add another modifier for that, but no big deal. No worries on that. If I hit F4, I can see where the edges are. So that's what I'm going to probably just use. So, so we've turned off the NURMS. We're going to choose an Unwrap Uvw modifier. And what this does is it flattens this whole image, right? This whole object. It unfolds all the polygons to a flat surface. And that way we can paint on that surface and pick which polygons need what. And we can be very detailed on what modifiers, what texture the polygons get. So, so we're gonna have to be very careful about this because it'll be weird if you don't. So UVW, Unwrap UVW. Okay, we're gonna put it on, what's the steps? Make sure I don't mess it up. So under selection, face selection mode or polygon really. So we're on polygon. Okay, all the faces on the first half of the shark. Remember that image was in two halves. So I'm gonna pick the front view or left view. And oops. Rectangular selection tool and pick half the polygons. I don't think I got all half of them here. Zoom in and try it again. There we go. Oh, didn't get yeah, ignore back facing was on. I was looking for that. They put a new icon. Okay, let's try it again. Start over here, just make sure I get the bottom. Oh, I'm on element. Turn that off and try it one more time. Should do it. There we go. And now the back faces are not being ignored. So it selects anything that, see these polygons that were facing away from the view that I was selecting in, those are being ignored. So I had to turn that off, and that was this little icon here. So make sure that that happens. Okay, so I have half the shark selected. Okay, and we're going to open the UV editor button. And this opens up another screen. Where's the editor? Open UV editor. Nice. Okay, so this is a representation of all the polygons, but we're gonna have to remap it. So I'm pretty sure. So let's see what it says. All right, right now this is not appropriate for applying the texture map, so we'll tweak some parameters and options to unwrap it perfectly. But first, to ignore the backface selection, turn on the ignore backface. And I think that's gonna look a little different too. But with them selected though, right? So we're gonna ignore the backfaces now. And with half it selected, we're going to go to the projection group and click on planar. So what the end result is that we see that shark flattened to this image. So let's see if this works. I kind of hesitate to do this, but let's see. All right. So in the modify panel, under the unwrap, I'm going to actually expand this out a little bit and scooch that over. Okay, planar. And before I do that, let's check this ignore backfacing and try it again. I think I already screwed it up. There we go, back here. And that's on and planar. Undo again. Okay. That's all of them. Now I turn this back on and then hit planar. But let me open the UV editor and click planar. Huh. There we go. I just needed to align it with the Y direction so I can get that. And we're not going to worry about the skewing of it. In fact, that doesn't matter hardly at all because they're just the polygons. We want to make sure that the polygons get the texture that they need. The belly gets white and the top gets gray and blah, blah, blah. So I had to align it with the Y, and then I'm going to turn this off so we can go on here. So there we go. Click on the move tool to move the projected UVs and then move them outside the checkered area. Okay, so here's the move tool. You can pan and zoom just like usual. And we're gonna move, whoops, move. This tool is a multi-tool, so you gotta make sure you just click and drag on this and move it over here. Okay, and then with half of the shark still selected, we're gonna Control I to invert the selection. So we select the other half of the shark. We'll move that off of the plane. So a couple things I'm skipping: with all the faces on the opposite now selected, turn on the planar map once again, as we did before. And after applying the planar, don't forget to turn it off once you've moved the faces out of the checkered areas. Okay. Close that. Control I selects the other half of the shark. And open the editor. Now I have these, and let's go planar again. There's the other half of the shark. Let's move. Get the move tool and move these guys. Oh, I got to turn off planar. Oops. And then move the. Okay. Are you good? We okay up to here?
How are you moving the wireframe for the shark in the UV map?
Yeah, the move tool has to be on, but also the projection has to be off, right? So when you see the projection, that's why it kind of widens this panel on the right. Make sure that projection right there, the planar map projection, is off.
Yeah, mine's showing that it's off, but I'm still moving the polygons and everything around it.
So with them selected, it should allow you to just click and drag on them, right? Are they red? There may be another setting over here. No, I think we're good.
I guess I had to double click on them, but I got it moved.
Huh. And in the viewport, right, you have those polygons are selected?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, glad you got it. I'm not sure what was going on, but I guess we'll go on. Okay. Yeah, this, yeah, I'd like to spend more time in that, but anyway, with the help of several images, there's this texture already made for us, so that's nice. Okay, so a little explanation on how they made this texture. Again, nice Photoshop work, I guess. Anyway, I'm included in this. However, if you want to prepare your own texture, you can do so in Photoshop, just using, you know, other imagery, right? So you can take images off the internet and go to Photoshop and use those shark skin images, some good high-res ones, I guess, for this texture. Okay, so we're going to go to the material editor, and this is the old material editor. I wonder what version of Max they're using here. Anyway, I don't see. Anyway, it's all good. Okay, we hit M on the keyboard, and with the first material slot, well, we don't have to worry about that. We're going to give it a little more glossiness and reflectiveness. And we're going to add a map to it. And this is where so we're going to make a material and we're going to put that shark map on that material. So that's it. So I'll just do that right now. We can close this. That can be opened again just by opening the UV editor and, later. So M, And I'm going to make a new view here. This will be shark mat. And I can rename that one, I hope. Yeah, and this would be setup. This is just the setup part. Okay, physical material. And the base color is going to be the bitmap that's in the, that was downloaded. I think I had, yeah, there it is, Shark Project. Okay, so there's the image that we're using to texture the shark.
You just went on Google and found that?
No, that's actually with the, that's in the tutorial at the top of the page.
I clicked on that link and it said it didn't work. It brought me, it opened a new tab and it wouldn't let me. The download project files.
Yeah, are you using Chrome?
I'm using Chrome.
Try right-clicking it and save link as, and it should get you. It should open the browse right away for you, and you can save it. Did that work?
Let me look. Give me a second. Let's see. Okay, clicking on it didn't help. Let me.
Right click didn't either.
Right click, save link as.
So it should say the save type is a rar .rar.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, good. So save that. You may need to download the 7-zip or something. I don't think
it
Windows.
said it started to download. It said failed network error.
Okay. Well, tell you what, I will use 7-zip to add to the archive and shark P2 project files zip, and I'll just convert it to a zip file. Hopefully. Whoa, maybe I needed to do it. Scene assets. Images. And I didn't pay attention to where that was going, so I'm gonna have to do it again. Didn't go in there. Nope, 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 nope. Might have done it. I just didn't notice. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm going to put that in Canvas, and it's just a zip file, so that should download for you. RAR files may be blocked or something on your. You may have a virus protection thing, and RAR files are a little weird. But copy that. No, I don't need to copy that. I know where it is. Okay, let's go to Canvas. Actually, I have it over here. Here's my edit assignment, and I'm gonna file and upload a new file. Choose file. Shark project zip. And where am I going to put it? Oops. There. So let me save that. Okay, so if you are already on that assignment or whatever, just refresh your browser and you should be able to see that zip file, and that contains the, well, it actually contains the shark model and the texture image. So you could just pick it up right now. Even if you're not done with your shark, you can see how it works with the shark they give you. Misty, talking to you. Like, not that
Yes,
you have
sir. Sorry, I was totally engrossed in modeling the shark. I'm so
okay.
sorry.
No,
Okay,
no,
but yes,
that's okay.
I've been listening to you, and I do. There's a zip file to view
Okay,
the. Okay,
no
gotcha.
problem, no problem. Just
Cool.
joking anyway. So, okay.
Okay.
Back to here. So that's the download, and now it's on Canvas, so we're great. Where are we now, though? Let's see. I got the planer. Yep, we did that. Okay, here we go. Made a material with that image on it, and oh, and we're gonna edit the glossiness and the specular level. So a high specular level and a 6939, right? So let's see if we can get to that. So in here, it's a little bit different because the interface is different. So the reflection is actually found in the metalness, right? So, and I think it goes up from 0 to 1. So the reflection amount was 0.69. So it used to go from 0 to 100. So I'm just doing that. And then the roughness is the amount. So I would think I'll try the 0.39 and see what that does. Okay, so shiny and well, the reflectiveness is the metalness. So, and then, so that's the specular level, and then the glossiness is the roughness, the inverse of the roughness. Oh yeah, in fact, I could just set the glossiness to the 0.39. So that's actually what I wanted to do. Otherwise, it would be roughness of 0.61. So the inverse, yeah, right? Yeah, 0.61, the inverse of that. So yeah, just change it to glossiness. That's good. Okay, and then we're going to add it to the shark, I think. And what's cool about this, all right, and we're going to add the shark image. So that's all what they're doing in those steps. So step 21, that's okay. Now apply the texture onto the shark mesh. So with the shark polygon, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna just move it over. And well, with those selected, I think I should get out of sub-object mode here. I click on that. Okay, and then right-click, assign material to selection. Okay, so that's good. It worked. It's putting it on there, not correctly yet. So we'll get there. Okay. Yep. So that is the result we expected. So back in the UV editor, we can arrange the polygons to fit the image, which is kind of interesting. So the first step is to change the checker pattern to the image. And then, so I'm going to go over some of these steps and then we'll go do it. So, and we'll reset texture list, and it should pull up the image that's on the shark right now, which is that shark image or texture flattened. You will see it not displaying. So reset texture list. Let's see. Yeah, once you reset it, then you should see the shark image pull up. And then you'll see that image replacing the checker, and then we can adjust the polygons to fit the shark. With the shark man selected in the viewport, expand the Unwrap Uvw Modifier and select the edge selection mode. Oh, okay, we're gonna break the fins off of that, but are we doing that? Yep, okay. All right, so this is our first step. Let's go back to here. I'm gonna close that for, that's all we need for that. And I want this edge loop here, but not in the editable poly, but in the Unwrap Uvw. Select that edge, and I hope I can loop it. There we go. Did it go all the way around? No. Loop again? No. Oops. No. I tried the shift control and it didn't work. So just control and click around. All right, so I got that loop done. And back in the UV editor, I think we break it, right? So let's see. Edge selection mode, and then select those edges around the shark fin, and in the UV editor, go to tools and break, or Control V. Okay, there they are. And so now tools and break. Ooh, Shift R is the new. I'm glad I didn't do the Control B. So break. And then down at the bottom, we want to select everything by their element. Where is that? Select element UV toggle. Since I broke it, I should be able to just click on any part of that and it'll select the whole thing. And that's what that tool does. So select by element UV toggle. And now I can move that fin around. So that's our next step. So we're going to break the rest of the fins as well, it looks like. And break them. And move them out. Okay, before we get to the mouth. Close that. Click on that and loop it, and don't expect it to work. Try looping again. At this point, maybe I could do some scene management here. Let's go back out of here. I'm going to select these 3 planes, and I need my layers. And I'm going to add a new layer. I'll move selection to the layer, and this is just going to be planes. Okay, and with planes, I'll go back to default and I'll freeze, or just turn them off, right? And you can also freeze. So this is another way, and I was thinking about doing that before, just to freeze them and unfreeze them based on their layer properties. So anyway, it's nice. I can actually dock that layers over here. I got enough screen space. I don't in the lab. Okay, so back to my shark. Go to edge. I can zoom in on this. And control click that, loop, come back around, control click. There we go. And open the UV editor. There are those, and I forget the keyboard for it, but Shift R. Yeah. And then click on it because I still have the select by element and move tool. I do think I still have the move tool. And remove the fins from the shark. Anyway, the two side fins. I made a third one. I don't know that. Yeah, I guess there's a small third one, but we're going to leave that. Okay, I'm going to make a shell around the mouth using the outer edge loop. So back in edge selection mode, select the mouse border edges as shown in the image. So yeah, we got to have a nice, just inside the mouth there. We're going to loop that one out and then break those. Okay. And we'll get to step 35 with doing that. I wonder if I can, okay, with, get it out of edge mode for a sec and control I. And that selects all the teeth, right? 148 teeth there. And I'll put those on a different layer as well. Is anybody from Oklahoma? Because I have an Oklahoma joke regarding teeth. If no.
Okay, you mentioned it. Now you got to tell it.
I gotta say, okay, how do we know that the toothbrush was invented in Oklahoma?
I don't know.
Okay. Because otherwise it'd be called a teeth brush.
That's bad. You know, you could actually use that for West Virginia too.
Yeah, any state,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
Any,
pretty much. But no, that was good. I'm gonna have to forward that one over.
Well, I'm glad we got something out of class today.
If
All
it's
right.
okay, I have one.
Okay.
Okay. Why do trees hate math?
Divide, multiply, add, subtract, square root.
You're close because it gives them square roots.
Okay, nice, nice.
Okay.
I like it. Okay, well that loop went outside the mouth. So I'm gonna have to just redefine that with the Alt. In fact, if I just spin that around, ignore back facing on, just go to this Alt and drag. Maybe that, oh, I think it is back on. So. Okay. And it's a little hard to see which part of the mouth. It looks like the inside. And I kind of got around. I don't know. Well, it's probably fine. Okay, I'll go to the corner of the mouth and then back up. I'm not going to trust that loop. So I'll just come around this way. That should be good. Back in the Open UV, we'll go ahead and break his mouth. There's the mouth. Dentures. Okay. Separate it from the main mesh. We got that. Okay, step 35. We have 1 minute, so I want to get to a place where we can stop. We'll go ahead and flip. Let's see, now with the shell selected. Oh yeah, and that's just to match. So we're gonna flip the main portion of the shark here. So that guy here. So we select all of that and flip horizontally. Is that in the tools? Yeah, flip horizontally. So it's facing the other way. And I think that's what the, well, they're both going that way. Anyway. Oh, both of them. So yeah, we're gonna flip both sides. Cool, okay. Oh yeah, and I forgot to do this part. Yeah, so I should see this texture image. Oh, that's just the checker. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, reset texture list. And now I should have this color map. There we go. All right, so we're gonna try to fit this shark too. And so just adjusting the polygons to fit the image will repaint actually it doesn't change the geometry of the shark at all. It just puts the pixels, matches the pixels on the polygons. That's what the mapping does. You Unwrap UVW map does. So, all right, let's go ahead and give it a pause right here. I think that's a great place to, we're gonna start moving it and adjusting, scaling as you go through. We'll look at some of the tools that are used to match all that up. So we'll stop here.
Awesome.